Working on a good quality Scotch return tube boiler part 7, cleaning and polishing the check valves, fitting the steam fittings and superheater, plus fixing the boiler bands in place. This is a bit of a strange phenomenon. When I looked in the aerosol cap, which was full of acid, which was blue, it's now clear. Very odd, and I really don't know why this is. I can't say I've seen it before. Unless it's something to do with the aluminium washers on the fittings. Anyway, here they both are on the bench after being rinsed in water. Oh yes, and I almost forgot, after trying to clean them up on my polishing spindle. The polishing spindle job was not as good as usual, so I decided to do it this way. This is a wire wheel fitted to my Proxxon motor tool. And here's a tip with these wire wheels. Quite apart from the obvious wearing of eye protection, run them at a slower speed and they don't throw as many bristles out, and the bristles do not fly out as fast. This is about halfway through the cleanup. I still have to go around the part that fits into the boiler to clean off the sealant. These check valves need to be fitted into the adapter, and here they both are loosely fitted into the adapter. This is no good though, because they both need to be tight and in the correct position. When I tighten up both of the check valves, this is what they look like. One's not too bad, but the other one's way off. After trying various shim washers of various sizes, I found one that was perfect for the left-hand check valve. I thought it was a good idea to fit this check valve immediately before I lost the shim washer. And for this job, as always, I'm using Loctite 542. I use this a lot. Here I am carefully tightening the check valve into the perfect position. I found a couple of shim washers that worked with the other check valve, and now that's in the right place too. I think I may have solved the mystery of the acid running clear. At the beginning of this episode, I showed that the acid in the aerosol cap was no longer the bluey-green colour that I would normally expect, and now when I look at this image, I think I know why. Originally, the top caps of these check valves were fitted using aluminium washers, but after 24 hours in the small acid bath, the aluminiums largely disappeared. I am going to change these for copper washers anyway. It must have been the aluminium in the acid that caused it to change colour. Never mind the chemistry, it's now time to get back to work and fit the fittings. This is a dummy run, it's the steam tap. I'm just making sure that it all fits in the right place. Everything was okay, so I removed the fitting and then removed all the other fittings that were very loosely in the top bushes. Even though the cladding is good enough to not need this metal strip, because the boiler's old and this is how it was made, I'm refitting it. It would be a nice contrast to the wood when it's held in place by the other two boiler bands. In this clip, I'm tightening the nut inside, which clamps the main fitting firmly to the smoke box. This was quite a fiddly job, and I ended up using two Barco spanners, one on the top and one underneath. I used exactly the same technique on the superheater inlet fitting. Now I need to fit the superheater. Here's a top tip. When you're refitting old piping like this, apply a generous coat of WD-40 to the union fittings. It makes the job a lot easier to do by hand before you tighten them up with a spanner. And thanks to the WD-40, in no time at all the superheater coil is in place. This is the wet header fitting, and once again I'm using a wire brush in my Proxxon motor tool to give it a bit of a clean. I previously removed all the shim washers from this because they were a mixture of copper and aluminium. The bottom part isn't bent, it's a separate washer. It took a while to get the right thickness of shim washers to make this sit in the right position. After a coating of Loctite 542, I screwed it into place. Then I connected a piece of insulated copper pipe from the superheater inlet, and here, as you can see, to the wet header. This is where the wet steam, as it's known, comes out of the boiler. It goes down the pipe into the superheater, which goes back through the fire, which reheats and dries the wet steam into superheated steam. It's not a very fierce superheat, but it does make a difference. Here I'm fitting the pressure gauge, and this is a very unorthodox way of fitting a pressure gauge with just a fitting sticking out of the top of the boiler. This pressure gauge would appear to have run perfectly well for many years on this boiler, but it should really have a siphon. A siphon is a short length of copper tube that always has a little bit of condensed water in it. That way the heat of the steam never contacts the pressure gauge. In this case, the pressure gauge seems to work fine, so as it's not broken, I won't fix it. The final fitting is the safety valve. I'm not using any sealant on this because I will be removing it when I fill the boiler for the first time to test it, in the next episode probably. Here's a nice camera angle showing the piping on top of the boiler. Even though I've rebuilt this boiler, it still looks old, which is good. I fitted the hinge which holds the smoke box door using hexagon bolts. Fitting the feet onto the boiler and the other two boiler bands was a bit of a pain. It will be fine for now, but I may revisit this part of the job. After a lot of toing and froing, eventually everything fitted alright. I think the boiler is looking much improved with the new water gauge cladding and the parts being cleaned. Here I'm fitting the smoke box door. It's called a smoke box, but in actual fact there isn't any smoke because it's gas fired. I always did like the high quality of this boiler build. In this clip I'm refitting the exhaust pipe inside the chimney and sliding the chimney into position. Personally, I do think the chimney is a little bit too tall, but I'm going to leave it that way because that's how it's always been. If I was going to fit this boiler into a model steamboat, I would shorten the chimney, I think. I put the finished boiler on my turntable, and here I'm slowly rotating it so you can have a look at it from all angles. I'm not happy with the boiler banding, they are not tight enough and need some modification. I will do that as soon as I get the chance. At the moment I have quite a lot of work queuing up. All I really need to do is mill some slots in the boiler banding to allow me to pull them tighter. What I need to do next though is test it, because all the wood is going to move around, I would think. So that's it for now. I'd like to say stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists you can actually watch the videos back to back.